curious to see. Obviously, we'll see how the markets react to. I know the futures are down. I don't know if it was because of that or they were just already down.
Isn't that
Because
his like platform, Hope Hicks? Hope for Hicks?
I think the futures are
I couldn't
also
resist.
down.
I laughed at that more than I should have.
That's a good one. The futures are also down because the stimulus deal wasn't reached. They had talks today, and they didn't agree on it. But the House did pass their bill, and but the Senate's basically saying we're not going to agree to it.
Are you like leaning back on the floor or something? Like, what are you
I'm
doing?
pushed up against the wall.
Oh, he's in a hammock. Can't you tell?
Yeah,
Where
I'm
he
just
is.
hanging out at the valley, man.
It's gonna be fun to put your video box to the upshot of just your chin. But yeah, we'll see. Apparently, COVID tests are the new what's up, and that's a good segue into episode 9 of Quarterly Learnings. Let's get started with the what's up, what's down for the week. Ryan, you've never started. Let's have you kick it off.
What's up for me? I'd go with Boeing. I know it's going to be my segment this week, and they've recently did a test flight with the FAA chief, and apparently he liked what he saw. And so that doesn't mean that they're going to be flying anytime soon, but there's no timeline yet. But everybody is thinking that it's headed in the right direction. And so good news for Boeing, and hopefully they can start selling those planes again and be safe up in the skies, because I don't think anybody wanted to get on one of those until they went through all these steps.
I think a lot of people don't want to get on any plane right now.
That is true. What's down for the week? I would say my fantasy team. Everybody's hurt. Literally everybody. I can't even have my top 3 picks are all injured on the bench. So I accidentally started one.
I thought you already gave up. I thought you gave up already, Ryan.
I believe
I did. But it's definitely down. It's definitely my down for the week. But yeah, that's it for me.
Man.
What do you got, Justin?
What's down for me? I'll start with that. I'm sick and tired of moving stuff. I just helped my dad move some stuff out of his bedroom after moving a whole weekend or weekend and a half of stuff. So I'm done. I'm done with moving for at least like 11 months. Let's see, what is up for me? What isn't up? No, they just released Andrew, you were the one telling me about this today. I missed the news of the SPAC ETF, SPAK. I thought you misspelled it earlier. I was like, are you an idiot? Apparently I was the idiot. Well, surprise, surprise.
I didn't say you weren't necessarily wrong about that, but yeah, continue. Talk me up about my genius.
I'll tell myself down. I'm pretty good at that one. No, I'm not going to get into it yet, but the SPAC the SPAC ETF seems like a pretty cool thing. It's kind of jumping on a trend, it seems like, but interesting way to cover kind of the whole spectrum of it. That's what I got.
That's what you got. What do I want to have be my what's up, what's down? As you can tell, I prepared a lot for this today.
It's like push it on us first.
Oh, 100%. Come on. You got to know the hosting games, tricks of the trade by now. I'm an expert, only 9 episodes in. But yeah, I'll say what's up. No, we'll go with what's down. Sports betting still down. It's yeah, we'll see with the COVID test in the NFL. Hopefully I can get back on a heater. But what's up is that MLB made it to the postseason. Currently in the swing of MLB playoffs as well as the NBA finals. I just feel like they're not getting the pub that they would normally be getting. Some of that I think is the finals. I want to believe the Heat can win, but damn, game 1 was not a good sign. And then MLB is just, I think you're looking at ALCS, NLCS before you get legit TV watching across the board. Yeah, and I think all of our collective what's down is the presidential debate because nobody won. Let's move on.
We're not talking about that. Nope.
I know. That's why we're moving on immediately. Ryan, kick us off with your BFF BA Boeing.
Yeah, let's talk about Boeing. I know I kind of touched on it on my What's Up. Seems to be some good news. Finally, it's been a long battle for them ever since the crashes of the Boeing 737 MAX. As I mentioned, the FAA chief did a test flight, and he just was very upbeat and positive about what he saw as far as the new safety measures that are in place. Um, these planes have been grounded since March of 2019, with 346 people that were killed in the two crashes. It was absolutely terrible, but they're going through the entire retesting and recertification process. No promises yet from the FAA chief on a timeline on when these planes can get up in the air again with passengers. But either way, it's just some positive news for a great American company. And then hopefully air travel will come in line with that as well with COVID passing. One thing I did see on this was that one analyst from Jefferies mentioned that the 737 MAX, they think that Boeing will have inventory on hand until 2023, regardless of the certification, just because they have so many parts and everything that was ready to roll before the downing of the plane. So what do you guys think about this? Would you want to get on one of these planes anytime soon if they certified them? And do you agree this is just a positive sign in general?
I've
All
got a
right, here's
question.
my go ahead.
Let me have a question first, and then you can interrupt me. Then, qu- my question is, what does the FAA chief flying in it mean? Like I knew he was going to as sort of a show of confidence. Like, look, I've flown in it. But does that actually like speed up the regulatory process at all?
No, so it doesn't really speed anything up. It was just, like you said, kind of like a vote of confidence saying, like, I want to fly on it so that I could feel like my family would be safe on it. And the chief of the organization, him going into the plane with other engineers from Boeing, just showed that, I mean, they actually tested like some safety measures of if there was going to be some kind of a situation where they needed to take over and go off autopilot onto manual. That they went through all these different processes, and he just wanted to make sure that it was safe before even moving forward. So the fact that he said it was positive and saw some good signs seemed to be a good thing. But it shouldn't speed anything up. He said there's still several steps that need to come
Just take
into place. Yeah.
Well, if these things are actually back on, and people are using these, I have no problem getting on one, to be honest. I mean, there's going to be so much extra scrutiny and measures that are going to be in place that are totally just over the top just because of, what happened before. So if they're released and people are getting on these things, sure, I trust it. I actually trust those more than the other plane just because there's going to be so many eyes on this thing.
Yeah, my stance. I'll be curious to see what the European Aviation Commission. I don't know the exact name anymore. Says about it because they'll have to recertify it. I think once you get both them and the FAA, I can't apparently say that acronym at all. Once both of them, I think you'll see that as the true global vote of confidence. At the moment though, there's not even really room to fly these planes. We're seeing airline furloughs currently happening with no stimulus, and routes will have to be cut. So at the moment, I don't think airlines have a lot of areas to plug these planes in place at the moment, especially because it's a software fix primarily, right, Ryan? They haven't changed any of the physical structures.
Yeah, mostly software based. Allowing the pilots to override the software was one of
The
the things they really put into place. So
Yeah, the
hopefully,
MCAS system. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So what does this mean for the market besides Boeing? I mean, you kind of mentioned maybe some of the other airlines are going to follow suit of whatever happens there. Do you think it's significant, or do you think it's still, I mean, like Andrew was saying with COVID, I mean, the demand just isn't high, and it's still just going to kind of stay the same trajectory we've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely positive news in the short term, but I mean, you look at Boeing; it's been beaten up from all-time highs and really hasn't recovered very well. Just like airline stocks in general, but they're more than that. They're also defense and have other facets to their business. So I think once this is back up and running, I don't see any reason why this stock wouldn't run unless we have a huge second wave of COVID, which could happen. But I mean, Jim Cramer mentioned yesterday that this is a decent time to look at Boeing for the long term. So.
Yeah, I think what we've seen the past couple of months is what Boeing looks like on a market capitalization value without any future like airline orders. And so you've seen the value of their defense business as well as the currently pushing out the existing orders of 737 Maxes as well as other planes that they're making both in Washington and South Carolina. So yeah, I don't know. I think it only has room to go up. It's a duopoly, global duopoly, them and Airbus. There's not really anyone else that makes airplanes. So I wasn't ever concerned with this company going under by any means, especially with the defense side of the business. And they'd make other planes other than that. And in terms of the airlines, other than some fuel savings, they really just need air travel to come back before they can even, I think, see any sort of legitimate rebound in business and share price. So that's kind of my semi-educated view on it. Yeah. All right. My turn. Okay. I assume y'all
Save
saw.
the best for last.
Well, that's debatable. I assume y'all saw the direct listings that happened this week of Palantir and Asana, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because we talked about it beforehand. Yeah, so I just
Pull back the curtain, why don't you?
What?
Said pull back the curtain, why don't you?
Yeah, I don't think we're a very secretive operation, unlike Palantir. Ha! Palantir jokes. But yeah, so
Good segue.
Curious to hear y'all's thoughts on the two companies. I don't know a ton about Asana. I know they're a workplace workflow software, automating workflow and helping free up tasks. I know we all are. Justin, you're going to your office some, but you did work from home for a while. Ryan and I are still working from home. A lot of our time is spent digging through emails and just clearing out other things that we have to do rather than actually getting things done. So they're trying to, it's one of those softwares that's trying to alleviate the time it takes to do something as well as identifying what everyone does. And Palantir is a data management and visualization company that is definitely a different one, I think, that we see coming out of the valley, and they're currently moving their operations to Denver because of they don't feel that their views are accepted in the valley anymore. So, yeah, what do you guys think about these companies? Ryan, I know Palantir had caught your eye. This maybe for trading. I don't know about investing.
Yeah, I was looking to trade it, and Peter Thiel seems to be a somewhat reliable guy as far as in the software business, but I don't know. I think that it looks relatively cheap as far as like the stock price, and I don't know. I think it could swing up, but just because all cloud software, I mean, just software businesses in general are hot right now, but I don't think long term it's a good business. Like you kind of touched on, there's some flaws in their business model.
Well, I have not touched on it here for any of our listeners though yet.
Not yet, but they do. I mean, from what you've said via text earlier today and yesterday, it seemed maybe like not a great idea to follow them. But I'll keep it on my watch list and see what happens. But for now, I'm gonna stay away from it.
Gotcha. Full disclosure, I did get into Palantir a little bit today when it kind of hit a low, a daily low. But yeah, I'm kind of the same boat as Ryan. It's more of a trade than a long-term investment here. A couple of just stats that I saw on them. They're a $20 billion company. It's raised $2.6 billion in private funding, pretty similar to Airbnb. Similar, you know?
Except
could be
very,
pretty successful, at least
very, very, very different businesses.
very, but like financially
or have you been
similar,
to an
privately
Airbnb?
funded.
Have you been to an Airbnb that has been hit by a drone strike? Just saying.
Wow. I can't say that I have. Yeah, so I mean, I just heard software company that is dealing with between government organizations and collaboration, and I saw the price target or price point. That was quick get in, get out. Maybe a few weeks, maybe a couple of months. We'll see where it goes. If I lose it all, I lose it all. I'm not significantly in. So I like the idea, but like you said, the business model maybe is not the perfect one to be getting in for a long-term investment. They could be pretty volatile here, at some point. But for now, I like them short-term.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to hop in on it. Of course, none of this is a recommendation or anything. I just, I'd rather put my money into a company that if it's 17 years old, I'd prefer it not to be losing money. And maybe have a few more clients. They only have 128, or I think it's 128 clients, just over 100 clients total. Well, one of their biggest ones, the U.S. government, which I think is a good thing.
For sure.
Yeah, but in terms of stability, and also I believe that the CIA and other government agencies that are at least not commenting on the ICE part, but other government agencies should be able to have the software they need to do their jobs. Hence, that was alluding to the drone comment striking Airbnbs. We have no actual proof that happened. So I think, yeah, I don't know. I'd rather put my money somewhere else for the moment. But one thing I will say is good is I think you're going to see a lot more direct listings. So the key difference between IPO and direct listing is IPO is going to raise money at the time of going public. Direct listing is just going public. It's not intended to raise money, and it lets your employees get paid faster from your company. The lockup periods are different, and it's a way to just directly list shares and cash in on the work you've been doing at the company you've been working for if you have those stock options.
I think you nailed it.
Short and sweet. Let's go to yours.
Like I said best for last. As we know, I am the
Debatable.
SPAC expert, apparently. Whatever. Although you did write the article, so can't really say that. And 2020 is the year of the SPAC, and Playboy has decided to go back and become public in 2020 under special position acquisition company, blank check company. So they used to be public. They went public in 1971, and then they Hef took it private in 2011, and they've kind of rebranded since then. More since I guess Hef's death, they become a sexual wellness company, a clothing company, like a style and fashion. And I'm trying to think what else they brand themselves as I'm looking at my notes here. It's great podcasting, I know. And digital gaming products. So they are no longer what you come to think of them as let's just say, magazine company. Anyway, so yeah, they have more than $400 million in cash flows. They're contracted through 2029. Like I said, they're not just a promiscuous magazine company anymore. They are a whole new brand. I would say kind of trying to be similar to like Trojan in that vein, and kind of branching out a little bit across the market. Anyway, what do y'all think about this?
Married man.
Can you talk about Playboy, or are you gonna get flush in the cheeks?
I can talk about it. I've definitely viewed.
Is your wife out of earshot?
Taking a peek at some of the mags from like the 90s. But I will say, I think it's a great brand overall, but I don't know how they're going to structure this going forward. Trying to be like Victoria's Secret type business / who knows what they have planned. Seems like just kind of a shot in the dark to kind of grab some money with the SPAC system. So I'm a little skeptical of it, but I'd probably stay away from this one as well.
Yeah, this is the sign of the top for SPACs, right?
Exactly.
This is the downward spiral probably.
Yeah, this is when we know we've maybe got too many of those.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have anything to offer, and not that I'm hiding anything or can't. I just don't know anything about their business in the modern age, and I'm just treating it as another SPAC that I'm probably not going to invest in. I've got my two, and of Tattooed Chef and Ackman's, and I'm good for now on that front.
That's probably pretty safe bet there. Yeah, the only thing I could say positively is they have brand recognition, and I'm sure they have some influencers and creators that can get them some positive PR. I don't know. I'm probably staying away too, but I thought it was interesting that they're going public. I didn't even know they were private. I figured they had a ticker, but I never even looked for it. So, what's y'all's favorite Playboy memory of anything you did when you were a kid that maybe sneaking in magazines from your dad's closet or something?
Carmen Electra.
No, Carmen Electra. There you go.
I don't think
Prince named her, right?
No, that's awesome.
I think I was like 12 or 13. I went to my friend's like fish camp out in like Port Aransas, and I don't think I knew what a dirty magazine was, and they had like a huge stack of them, and I did not know what to do about it. Like I was a little overwhelmed, and I was scared. Always scared girls.
Who's to say what's changed?
I never said it changed. They terrify me. They're mean. Enigma.
No, those
that's all I got, cool. Guys. I thought it was just an interesting little story.
Yeah,
the Playboy bunnies used to be like a
collector's
cool
item
logo.
somewhere.
I feel like now that's kind of like
girls get like tattoos of them.
Nobody wants to wear that anymore. Like, it seems like a dead.
There's a stigma for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the Me Too movement. I mean, it's probably not a great thing, especially when all the stuff came out with Hef. I mean, no one was really surprised, but a little less accepted. So I would trust they at least as a brand. I don't know as a stock investment, but I'm sure they have are hiring people that can bring it back in some vein and maybe change their image in the long term. But I'm just optimistic.
I see it kind of deal.
What's the greatest SPAC? I guess the best, most successful SPAC so far has been the DraftKings conversion, because that was initially a SPAC. It was DEAC, I think, and that thing has just exploded. But it was just because of the ESPN deal. I think
Nicola was for a second, and then we found out they were all fraud. So,
but they popped recently. Yeah, they popped recently because they're trying to. I think GM's still trying to buy them, but we'll see.
They popped, but I mean, relatively, they fell off the deep end. 70% down in a day and a half or so. So
they popped because people like
the 20% recovery was great.
They pop because of Robinhood traders like y'all are just going and looking and going, ooh, it's $11. I'll buy it. And then it just.
I resent that.
You're doing it right now with Palantir.
Yeah, but I believe in them.
I don't do that. What are you talking about?
I'll be curious what I've had to cut. Well, I'll have to cut from the past like 5 to 8 minutes.
Tomorrow's gonna be a red day.
Like what?
Oh
yeah.
Not our best segment, but
is it spooky season?
That was. I think tomorrow's gonna be. It was a good week overall, right? I mean, I think we're due for a bad day.
I'm about even right now, so I don't know. Yeah, we had a pretty good day across for the S&P.
I'm very mad that Burrow Couch did not just immediately give us money and for advertisements by liking our tweet today. I thought that would work. I thought that's how Twitter worked. You just openly solicit companies that you hear on other podcasts, and they give you money, and they don't ask any other questions. That's not how that works.
I mean, that's why I got into this thing. I mean, I just want free stuff.
Same.
Or at least a speedier delivery. Hey, Burrow, you're really dropping the ball here with this 5 to 7 week delay here. Kind of pissed. I'm sitting on a really shitty couch that has cat scratches all over it.
That's okay. I had Amazon send me an email just before this saying, apparently my items are now suddenly undeliverable. I don't know how, but they're just canceling my order. It's like, thanks. I kind of wanted
What?
those Celsius drinks to show up today, but I guess they're not coming at all now, and I've got to go reorder them. So,
can you not get off your ass and go pick them up from the store?
Buying in bulk, bruh.
Go get a Costco membership.
That costs money.
Oh, you didn't get initiated. I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, they come up to you on the street and they tap you on the shoulder and give you like a special hand signal. You know, maybe
I've never been in.
stash you in a van.
That wasn't a Costco. All right,
Sam's.
We've devolved into just lunacy at this point.
I haven't slept much in the last couple of days. I apologize.
Anything else before we wrap up? This is probably our worst one, so apologies to anybody listening.
I will double down on this. This year doesn't count anyway. Who cares?
That's what I'm saying about all sports. Like everybody, like who?
The only thing that doesn't matter, I think, are NBA and NHL.
People are opting out though of college. Like,
go tell Laker fans that, Ryan.
Oh, I'll tell LeBron.
NBA 100% counts this year. Like this is no different.
And
if
NHL,
not, like more intense.
NHL too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both those are legit.
MLB is like, meh, it's not really.
It's just different.
It's different.
I'm still watching the Dodgers. I'm watching Dodgers Brewers. I still like to watch playoff baseball.
Yeah, I think once they get in the bubble, like I said, and you get a little more eyeballs on it, I think it'll get as you guys, I don't tell you, intense baseball is like good TV to watch. Casual baseball, when you have nothing on the line, is like can be very boring.
It's good nap programming.
I think the NFL will still count the same though. You're still lining up, and 22. I've got to go against 22. Whoever comes out on top.
Depends on COVID though. If several teams get it, it's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be bad.
Kershaw just piped one and got away with it.
That left field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
92, like right down the middle.
Let's wrap.
We're doing great.
All right. Well, the 3 people that are still listening, thanks for listening. Make sure you hit subscribe, rate, and review, and we will see y'all next time.